The Magic Faraway Tree by Enid Blyton. Chapter 1. Rick Comes to Stay. Once upon a time there lived 3 children, Joe, Beth and Franny. They lived with their mother and father in a little cottage deep in the country. They had to help their parents both in the house and in the garden as there was lots to do. Now one day their mother had a letter. She didn't very often have letters, so the children wondered what it was about. "Listen," she said, "this is something quite exciting for you. Your cousin Rick is coming to stay with us." "Oh," said all the children, pleased. Rick was about the same age as Joe. He was a happy boy and rather naughty. Oh, it would be so much fun to have him. "He can sleep with me in my little bedroom," said Joe. "Oh, Mother, what fun! When's he coming?" Let me read. "Tomorrow," said Mother. "You can put up a little bed for him, actually, and you must make room for him and for Rick's things in your cupboard. It says he's going to stay for quite a long time because, his mother's ill and can't look after him." The 3 children flew upstairs to Joe's room to get ready for Rick. "Hey, what will Rick say when we tell him about the Enchanted Wood and the Faraway Tree?" said Joe. And what will he say when we show him our friends there, Silky and old Moonface and dear old deaf Saucepan Man and everyone?" "Oh, he will get a surprise," said Franny. They got everything ready for their cousin. They put up a little camp bed for him and found some blankets. They made room in Joe's cupboard and bedside cabinet for Rick's clothes. Then they looked out of the window. It looked onto the dark, thick wood, whose trees waved in the wind, not far from the bottom of the garden. "The Enchanted Wood," said Beth softly. "Oh, what marvellous adventures we've had there. Maybe Rick may have some too." Rick arrived the next day. He'd travelled in the delivery van from the village shop with a small bag of clothes. He jumped down and hugged the children's mother. "Hello, Aunt Polly," he said. "It's very good of you to have me." "Hello, Joe. I say, aren't Beth and Franny big now? Oh, it's lovely to be with you all again." The children took him up to his room. They helped him to unpack his bag and put his things neatly away in the cupboard and bedside cabinet. They showed him the bed that he was to sleep on. "I expect I shall find it rather dull here after living in the city," said Rick, putting his washing things on top of the bedside cabinet. "It just seems so quiet. I shall miss the noise of the buses and the cars." "Oh, you won't find it dull," said Joe. "My word, Rick, we've had more adventures since we've been here than we've ever had when we lived in town." "What sort of adventures?" asked Rick in surprise. "It seems such a quiet place. I shouldn't have thought that there was much of even a small adventure to be found." The children took Rick to the window. "Look, Rick," said Joe. "Do you see that thick, dark wood over there, backing onto the lane at the bottom of our garden?" "Yes," said Rick. "It seems, quite ordinary to me, except, the leaves of the tree seem a bit darker than usual." "Well, listen, Rick," said Beth. "That's the Enchanted Wood." Rick's eyes opened wide. He stared at the wood. "Nah, you're making fun of me," he said at last. "No, we're not," said Franny. "We mean what we say. Its name is the Enchanted Wood, and it is enchanted. And Rick, in the middle of it is the most wonderful tree in the whole wide world." "What sort of tree?" asked Rick, feeling actually quite excited. "It's a really enormous tree," said Joe. "Its top goes right up to the clouds, and Rick, at the top of it is always some strange land. You can go there by climbing up the top branch of the faraway tree, going up a little ladder through a hole in the big cloud that lies in the top, and there, you always find that you're in some strange land." I don't think I believe you," said Rick. "You're making it all up." "Rick, we'll take you there and show you what we mean, said Beth. It's all quite true. Oh, we've had such exciting adventures at the top of the Faraway Tree. We've been to the Rocking Land and the Birthday Land. Oh, and the Land of Take What You Want and the Land of the Snowman, said Franny. You just can't imagine how exciting it all is. And, Rick, all kinds of odd folk live in the trunk of the Faraway Tree, said Joe. We've lots of good friends there. We'll take you to them one day. Oh, there's a dear little fairy called Silky, because she's got this mop of silky golden hair. And there's old Mr. What's-his-name, said Franny. Well, what's his real name? Asked Rick in surprise. Well, nobody knows, not even himself, said Joe. So everybody calls him Mr. What's-his-name. Oh, and there's old Saucepan. He's always covered in kettles and saucepans and things, and he's so deaf that he always hears everything wrong. Rick's eyes began to shine. Oh, take me there, he begged. Quick, take me. Oh, I can't wait to see all these exciting people. Oh, well, we can't go till Mother says she doesn't need us in the house, said Beth. But we will take you. Of course we will. Oh, and Rick, there's a slippery slip, a slide that goes right down the inside of the tree from the top to the bottom, said Franny. It belongs to Moonface. He lends people cushions to slide down on. Oh, I do want to go on that slide, said Rick. He was getting terribly impatient. Why do you tell me all these things if you can't take me to see them now? I'll never be able to sleep tonight. Oh, goodness, my head feels in a whirl, all ready to think about the Faraway Tree and the Moonface and that Silky and the slippery slip. It was already in a whirl, and now it's just so much. Rick, we'll take you as soon as we can, promised Joe. There's no hurry. The Faraway Tree is always there. We never know what land is going to be at the top. And we have to be very careful sometimes because, well, there might be a dangerous land, one that we can't get away from. A voice came from downstairs. Children, are you going to stay up there all day? I suppose you don't want anything to eat? Oh, what a pity, because I might have made some new bread and put out some honey. 4 children raced downstairs. New bread and honey? Goodness, they weren't going to miss those. Oh, good old Mother. She was always thinking of some nice little treat for them. Joe, Father wants you to dig some potatoes for him later, said Mother. Rick, you can help. And Beth and Franny, I need your help because I have to take some mended clothes to Mrs. Harris, and she lives such a long way. The children had been hoping to take Rick to the Enchanted Wood. They looked disappointed, but they said nothing because they knew that in a family everyone had to help when they could. Mother saw their disappointed faces and smiled. I suppose you want to take Rick to see those peculiar friends of yours, she said. Well, now listen. If you are good children today and do the jobs you have to do, I'll give you a whole day off tomorrow. Then you may take your lunch and dinner and go to visit any friends you like. How would you like that? Oh, Mother, thank you, cried the children in delight. A whole day, said Beth. Oh, why, Rick, we can really show you everything. And maybe let you peep into whatever land is at the top of the Faraway Tree, whispered Franny. Oh, what fun! So they did their work well that afternoon and looked forward to the next day. Rick dug hard and Joe was pleased with him. It was going to be fun to have a cousin with them, able to work and play and enjoy everything too. They went to bed that night, and when they did, they left the doors of their rooms open so that they might call to one another. Sleep well, Rick, called Beth. I hope it's fine tomorrow. Oh, what fun we'll have. Good night, Beth, called back Rick. I can't tell you how I'm longing for tomorrow. Oh, I know I shan't be able to sleep tonight. But he did, and so did all the others. When Mother came up at 10 o'clock, she peeped in at the children, and not one of them was awake. Joe woke first the next day. He sat up and looked out of the window. The sun streamed in, warm and bright. Joe's heart jumped for joy. He leaned over Rick's bed and shook him. Wake up, he said. It's tomorrow now. And we're going to the Enchanted Wood. And that is the end of the first chapter of our next book. So what do you think will happen on the children's first adventure to the Enchanted Wood? What do you think they'll see? Who do you think they'll meet? And what do you think Rick's going to think of it? Would you like to be Rick? Would you like to go and visit the children and go up the magic faraway tree? Do you think Rick's going to do the right thing? Let's find out in the next chapter tomorrow. Bye-bye.